Lately, Houston mom Lauren Simmons struggles to recognize her own city. She came up through the very same school system that her 3rd and 11th grader now attend. But this year, her daughter's school won't have a full library.
It's been a real struggle for me because I should just be able to wake up, drive my kids 5 minutes down the street, and they be at schools that are filled with great educators that have all of the fancy, programs and after-school programs, and that's just not our reality.
What did the library mean to you when you were a kid coming up in this same system?
The library was everything. I'm the kid that's checking out 10 books, and then I'm checking out 10 more books, and I'm at home under the cover reading books.
Over the summer, dozens of Houston schools replaced their libraries with team centers, where students will do work or go when they misbehave. Many librarians were laid off or reassigned to new jobs. The changes overwhelmingly impacted Black and Latino neighborhoods, so Lauren and other moms spent their summer going to meetings and protests, demanding to be heard.
I want you to look in my face and remember me because I'm your new best friend.
That sign is right.
Republicans have made parental rights a centerpiece of the GOP platform, arguing that parents have the right to demand that books be removed from schools, that lessons on race and gender be restricted. But this spring, when the state of Texas took over the Houston Independent School District of almost 200,000 kids, in a blue city, in a red state, there was little outcry from those same parental rights activists. The state replaced their elected school board members. They pushed out the superintendent.
So taking these principles to
and brought in former Dallas superintendent and charter school founder Mike Miles. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner thinks the move is anti-democratic.
I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. It's a hostile takeover where the people are not accountable to the parents, or the teachers, or the local community, or the students. They're appointed by the people at the state.
Is Houston in conflict with its own state government?
Well, Houston has been in conflict with its own state government for years. What's happening here with HISD cannot be viewed separate and apart from the greater picture. Okay, so let's not be fooled.
For years, a number of Houston schools were failing. Parents pleaded for more resources as large numbers of students fell far behind on reading and math. Former district leaders tried to implement new programs, and the state gave them a B rating in 2022. The Texas Education Agency took over HISD anyway. Superintendent Mike Miles' new education system model will emphasize instruction time in the classroom and use team centers like these for the kids who are excelling and the kids who need a timeout. He understands families are anxious about change. He believes it was necessary.
What message do you think is sent to kids, though, who see classmates in other parts of the city who still have functioning, staffed libraries?
So I think kids like to learn. I think kids focus on their schools, and so I think the kids are going to be fine. I think they're very flexible, adaptable. You've seen them already on the first day.
I've spoken to some of the kids in your district.
Mm-hmm.
One 3rd grader told me that it made her feel angry. Mm-hmm. One 5th grader told me that it made her feel like she's a bad kid who doesn't deserve a library.
So, when they come to school, what I've heard and what my staff has heard is nothing but, oh, this is okay. So I think people need to get here. I think the kids will adapt and they will love school like you see kids learning here.
Do you believe librarians are important?
So every single position has value, and it has, a role to play in different places. We can't be all things to all people, and we can't have everything we want. So there's a prioritization that has to happen. Science of reading versus this position.
So does that mean you're robbing Peter to pay Paul?
No, I wouldn't phrase it that way. What I would say is we're putting in a bold, different model that works.
But parents like Lauren say their wishes are being ignored by the school system.
Do parents here feel heard?
I'm having to literally fight and yell from the rooftops that my children deserve a library. Even prisons have libraries.
Cheryl Hensley worked for HISD for 39 years. She was Lauren's second grade teacher before she became a librarian. She was laid off as part of the takeover.
If we just focus on the classroom, that's just part of the kid. That's just part of your community. I'm building a lifelong learner. I'm building beyond the teacher. I'm giving them a choice. They're going to the classroom and they're told they have to pass this test. They have to read this passage. They have to do these strategies. When they come to me, they're given a book that they choose. They get a book that they want to read.
Was it hard to leave your school?
Extremely hard. Yeah. I still go by. I don't want to be done. These kids were important to me. And I felt like I loved every single one of them.
Lauren says the library that was a lifeline for her as a kid is worth fighting for.
What are my rights as a parent? Are my children not entitled to a quality education in their neighborhood? Like, where does that fit into my American dream? You know, the pursuit of happiness and life and liberty. I don't feel very happy right now. I don't feel very liberated. I don't feel very free. I feel very frustrated. I feel very unheard. And I feel like my children in this district, are being treated like political football.
Lauren's son, James, can already read well, but her daughter, Sydney, struggles with dyslexia.
I think sometimes people forget that there are real people that are impacted by this. Seriously, what am I supposed to do for my baby girl who is doing her best?
They lived in a house in the woods. I don't know why people need to take a library away for no reason. It doesn't make sense, because it's really hard to see a thing that you love to just be poof and gone.
The library was one of Sydney's favorite spaces at school. You're going into third grade. That's an important year for reading.
Yes.
What are you hoping to still learn? What kind of help do you need?
I need help with words, and I need to read a lot.
What message do you think it sends to you to go to a school that doesn't have a library?
That kids just shouldn't read, or kids like us shouldn't read.